My name is Kansiime Daphine. Good luck. I am a human rights defender. I studied ethics and human rights. Yes, I am an environmentalist, and I am a gender and inclusion officer at Abahumza Development Group. When we talk about climate change, in the recent past, it has it is evident. No one has to explain to you how the climate has changed. It is evident, because take an example of flash floods and all the rains that have been happening in Mbale, the long-term droughts that we have had. So that itself is an example of how the climate has changed. Well, one thing for sure is that climate change and issues to do with the environment affect us uniquely. Men, women, girls, boys, we are all affected in a unique way. And when you see the vulnerability of women and children, it is paramount. So as a girl child and as a young woman, it is my responsibility to protect and to advocate for our environment and to let people know that they have a responsibility, they have a part to play in protecting our environment. Yeah. Well, first of all, I do not litter. And every time I am in a space where another person probably tries to litter, I would let them know that they're not supposed to do that to our environment. So, and my home where I live, I have flowers, I try to grow trees and all those things. But what has brought me to the limelight is my involvement with Saving River Easy. So I have taken part in the awareness campaign of the Save River Easy Marathon. A number of activities at the river. I have done cleanups in the river. I have planted trees, and even in my neighborhood where I stay today, I stay along the river. And most times I do, small cleanups in my neighborhood, and then also letting people know of their responsibility in protecting the environment, because it does not make much sense for me to, do things personally or isolated, or probably with the group of people that I work with, because environmental conservation is not, people should know that they are supposed to protect the environment, but they don't. So they need to be reminded, and I do that. Yeah, every space and opportunity I get, I let people know of their responsibility to protect the environment. What kind of response? Well, that is a good question, because last week I was doing a cleanup at the river. There is a section of the river that we were cleaning in Buremba. So when I was moving there, I took a border. So when I took a border there, when we got there, this person asked me, "So what do you be doing here?" But it was evident that there was a lot of plastic in the river, and we had worked the previous day, so there was trash and all the plastic that was collected out of the river. But someone still asked me, "So what are you doing here?" Not so many people will realize what you do, but those who do understand. And probably I would want us to get to a place and time where all of us know that we have a responsibility to protect our environment. Yeah. Right now, we have a global issue with plastic. It is everywhere. It is in the water we drink. It is in the soil we cultivate. It is everywhere. And much as I would have loved the change to begin from the grassroots, right now there is already damage. Yeah. So one thing probably I would love is that they fund, first of all, we need to fund the restoration of our environment. When you look at the oceans, they are full of plastic. Our environment is all polluted. So if we could maybe increase the funding on restoring, so if we can first clean up what is there. And then the other thing is on policy. Well, in July 28th, 2022, the UN Assembly ratified the right to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment. It is a human right, and it belongs to everyone. So if we could include more policy, and when I talk about policy, I would love for it to be gender sensitive, because issues of climate change and the environment affect people differently. And most times if we do not incorporate these differences, probably the policies do not work out well. So yeah, what I would love for them to do is probably increase on the funding for the restoration, and then after that incorporate policies that would ensure the protection of the environment. One thing about Africa, and if I could zero it down to Uganda, is that we have not probably realized or faced those situations, those crises that are evident that they are from climate change and probably our human activity and involvement in depleting our environment. So they are not yet there. And the difference that we have from the developed countries is that they have faced a lot of industrialization, they have faced a lot of these things. So they know, they are now at a point where they are responsible as citizens to protect the environment, because they have seen how bad it can be. As Africans, I think we are not yet there, and it would be absurd if we got there. Yeah, so the other thing, if I could come to Uganda now, is that there are no punitive measures, because some things are supposed to be, they're supposed to be common sense, if I could put it, because everyone knows that there's, anyway, no one loves that. No one loves that environment. Meaning that if you get a bottle, you probably driving somewhere and you got a bottle and threw it outside, it would not make you a very clean person, because who is going to pick that bottle where you've thrown it? I mean, they know that they can get away with it. So if a person can still get away with something, yeah, they don't feel the responsibility to be careful with what they do. The trend that the river is taking, it is at the brim of drying up. So if we don't do anything about it, it might dry up, and that would be very unfortunate. So if women could be involved more in the activities that concern the environment, be involved more in activities to restore the environment, and then plant trees. You know, women love nature. You know, they are keepers of homes. So in your home, plant a tree, plant a flower, and I mean, make sure that your environment is clean. So if it is clean, there will be no plastic. Yeah, and that will be a very big contribution to start from.
How many times have you visited the river race?
How many times? No, that I don't think I count. But I stay close to the river. Like, I could say like 500 meters from the river. Every time I look at that river, you see, It's even anywhere. I don't know if it is a river. It could be like, probably like a mud flow. Because when you look at it, it's not water. I have never seen river easy, clear, like with clear water. So every time you look at it, you probably think, I don't know, but it breaks my heart. Every time I look at that river, it breaks my heart because I don't really have anything more to say because it is terrible. And every time I look at it, it breaks my heart, but I still feel concerned. And when I get concerned, I try to do something about it. Environmental conservation and protection is an individual responsibility. If you become conscious of everything that you do, like from the dot, if you be cautious about everything that you do, if you're going to throw a bottle or anything, ask yourself, is this the right place? Is this the right thing to do? If I came back tomorrow and found the same thing still right there, how would it make me feel? So we should be conscious as a people in the protection of our environment, because I tell people all the time, we shall not receive miracles of waking up probably one day and there is no more plastic in the world. That will not happen. Thank you too, Adella.